Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Miss Elliot, and if you're joining me for the first time, you are much welcome. If you are returning back again, thank you. You're welcome. And today we will be having a blast. We'll be having serious discussion. So sit down, grab your glass, let's talk. So today I want to talk on submission, okay? Now because this topic I've always wanted to talk on it more so because I've had my fair share of problem with it because I really didn't understand the concept of submission, and I thought I was the only one looking at how the people's social feed has been blowing up. Males, Nigerian males giving their opinion, and not just me. You have to understand that unhealthy patriarchy is practiced all over the world. The only difference is that it's more pronounced on this side of the world. Misogyny is the gift that keeps on giving, okay? And yeah, with that being said, I've seen people talking about submission, and I understand that the concept people have for submission is master-slave relationship. And let me just say this. What people don't understand is that both masters and slave is a symbiosis relationship, and somehow the master is a reversed slave because they have this codependent relationship going on. Sorry, not even symbiosis. Dependent, codependent relationship going on. They can't survive without each other. They need each other to exist. One is delusion that okay, they are above mortality and can, they have the superiority complex. The other one feels like okay, I need this as an existence because it's both of them is based on self-hate, because I feel like it's only a human being who have little or no respect or value for themselves will in turn someone else into a subject, because it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of toll on your conscience, it takes a lot of toll on your identity, it takes a lot of work to maintain it, psychology and all, and sometimes most of the times it drains your peace of mind. Okay, so that's it. But then again, back on submission, because one thing I've understood that a lot of males, they want, because over the years they have been their sovereignty have been identified with their anatomy, and somehow because the world is moving towards a digital age where you don't need to be a monk and any animal or beast to prove your sovereignty. You need the will, the resources, the mind, and all. So because of that, somehow something has shifted among the male kingdom, and right now it's almost as if now you need your all your senses, your mind, to work with it. Okay, you need your mind, you need um intellectual resources to make it like that, and human resources, and this has been less practiced for over years. Okay, so now it's almost as if they're having this identity crisis. It's almost like the males that did not do anything to touch up themselves morally, physically, emotionally, just somehow going into the society. That insecurity is huge insecurity because they lack that masculinity, that true, authentic masculinity. They lack it. They lash on women. They feel like they're stronger than women, and although, let's be honest, with the way men's physical structure are built, it is meant to naturally withstand face-to-face combat because their muscles are built in differently and all. So based on that, they are stronger than us. Except when you go to mental strength, emotional strength, spiritual strength. Now that is where our strong suit might come in. It's just a thing of power because they understand that they really don't have that power. It authentic power is not taking or giving, it is with you. It's something you grow into. I learned that from Olivia Pope's Kanda, the father. Yeah. So when you think about it, so all these things are playing into the dynamics today, and somehow there's this crash. It's almost a cry of help. That's why it trickles down to the society, the insecurity, and all. And you find rape and noise because most of the times these men, they truly feel so weak. So the only way to exercise their power is to either abuse you or take advantage of you or rape you, not even rape you. Okay, so all those things, including abusing, when a man feels so emasculated because they are not bringing to the table what they're supposed to bring to the table, and the woman is her her natural instinct is telling her, okay, you are with a male, you don't feel protected. They start projecting each other, start fighting, start coming at each other. Especially this comes up in role reversal, where the man wants to be respected because of the male privilege. But once you if you take a good look at it, you realize that he has nothing to offer. But he is still trying to take advantage of patriarchy, the misogyny, that card. He's trying to take advantage of it. And the lady, rightfully so, is questioning his masculinity. Although I feel like I know it's wrong to question a man, to emasculate a man. If you feel like a man is not living up to standard, you pull out. You don't have to put yourself in that situation because you are trauma banding, and you're going to end up, if not careful, passing it to the next generation. So the best thing, women, is to pull out of it. But I don't know why I'm taking this long to learn to submission, but I just need to, lay out some issues that's going on, lay some groundwork then before I go into the topic submission. Okay, one thing that I understand, men go back, they visit religious book whenever they try to oppose their masculinity on women. They go back to religion because somehow religion has helped them, you know. So they go back to it, they refer back to it, as their savior, But what they don't understand is submission is a thing of love, is a thing of sacrifice, okay? And real men, they will never tell you, submit to me. Like, they wouldn't do that. Because they lead. They go to the society, they lead, they provide structures that enables the society move forward. In process of doing that, what happens, you see, people automatically they follow because you are a leader, you are exempting, you are exuding that leadership. And it's only be foolish not to, submit to your leadership, especially when you come off as someone who knows what he's doing, who has done the groundwork, and who is putting in effort and is growing. That's true leadership. Leadership that a lot of all these males lack. They help, they force control their emotions, they master their emotions, and they don't impose it on people. Okay? And that's what most males don't understand, because the real men out there, they are not no, their women are submitting to them. And there's the thing about submission. When someone submits to you, I'm going back, since they go back to the Bible so bad, let me go back to that Bible, okay? If you go down, you'll realize that Jesus Christ, when Jesus Christ was instructing the husband and wife, he said this, that husband, wife, submit to your husband just as Christ, as you submit yourself to Christ. And you know why? Because Jesus Christ died for the church. He died for the church. Now, most men don't understand. When a woman submits to you, it means she's telling you, I'm secured, I feel protected, I feel loved. And I know if push come to shove, if there was a stray bullet, you would jump in. So I will be stupid not to submit to you, because people submit to what they naturally feel safe to. And I feel like because men on the long term have viewed women as animals, as objects, not even animals. They don't give us that integrity to view us acting irrational sometimes. They view us as objects. We're supposed to be mules or objects. So because they don't view us as human beings with brains, with instincts, with values, with principles, so they feel like no matter how they act, we are supposed to, swing to the dance of their beats, no matter how ridiculous it sounds. So when you're telling a woman to submit to you, you don't have your life in order, you're emotionally everywhere. You don't even have the Benjamins to begin with. Um, you don't have integrity. You shouldn't dare to ask for submission. So before I used to have problem with submission. I don't have problem with submission now because I understand it. I understand somehow it's a two-edged sword, and it depends on where you're cutting from. It depends on where you're picking from. If you're aware of the dynamics that comes in play of that of a man, you understand that men and women have natural roles, they gravitate to things, and for women to copulate, to bring in children to this world, to reprocreate, there are some certain things that should be placed in order to enable that security, to able to enable that trust to build a family, and all these things comes in play. This is a dance. Okay, this is a dance, an emotional dance. So men out there seeking for submission without the where to do, please sit down and watch the real men take over this. All right. So you going out there crying out, wanking your balls, and like, I'm the man. You should submit. Look at our foreparents and our foremothers and all. Please, it depends on the script you were given, and it depends on who told you the history. A lot of our mothers were frustrated in their homes because they weren't feeling protected. Only few, okay. And this reminds me of my grandfather, who he was intelligent but highly insecure. He came from a dysfunctional family. He married my mom. He was educated, okay. And my grandma is this industrious woman. She's intelligent. She's highly feminine. But she obeyed the submission to the detriment of her family because this man had no serious plan for her. This man made sure she stopped working and everything but couldn't provide, and always made her feel guilty for being so intelligent, pretty, even though she was practically reducing herself to nothing. And this is a lot of time. This is what most of these men want. They want, when they talk about submission, they're talking about being subjected to their stupidity, their ignorance, and their bullies and BS. And this is why I am making this video, because a lot of women out there, they look at all these things. Submission is a gift to marriage. Okay, because it's supposed to be man submitting to the wife, submitting to the man, and the man submitting to the woman. It's supposed to be a bond. It's supposed to be a covenant. It's supposed to be a partnership. So a lot of these males, that's why you shouldn't pay attention to most of these men, because a lot of times they don't even have your best interest at heart. They think it's easy to be a man, but no, the divine masculinity, just as I always talk about the divine femininity, I really can't talk about it that much because I am not the man. But I understand what principle is, I understand what integrity is, and based on so far my relationship with men, my understanding with them, I've come to realize that there are qualities expected from both parties, and most of the times it is the person who to an extent have understood themselves, have grounded themselves, and have taken the work, can understand this and bring this teaching out. And a lot of times, because of fear mongers, a lot of women have fallen into depression. They're falling into the worst situationship they have ever realized. They feel trapped in a wrong relationship and keep on doubting themselves, their worth, because of all those fear mongers, everything they feed into us. And it's because we women, we love growing, we love teaching ourselves. These are the gifts we have. If only we could shut our ears off from all these noises, look deep within us, we understand that we have this intuition given to us, to help us connect to the universe, to help us decipher things. It just basically open your third eyes and to see through all the BS. And all these things only come from you grounding yourself, you being in tune with yourself, and include you also loving yourself radically, loving yourself shamelessly, because you have to understand that we are all human beings. We came to this world with little or no script, and even the script we came with were corrupted because society, the media told us things, the society told us things. It trickled down to our religion and all. Is a male worshipping culture and hypocritical culture full of nepotism. And in Nigeria, especially Nigeria, where we hardly value lives, yet we value but stupid doctrines that do not serve us, recycled doctrines that do not serve us. And that's what pisses me off, because I once bought into all these lies. And sometimes when I see it being said, I see some naive women who honestly are trying to do better for themselves, following this script because they are not in tune with themselves. And there's nothing wrong with people learning, people wanting to learn to do more. But whenever you're learning something, this is a trick I do, because sometimes I can be gullible, okay? Sometimes I really can be. Even though most of the time my friends say, no, girl, you're not gullible. No, I really can. I just tend to be more intuitive. I tend to discern better most of the times. But you guys hardly catch me when I'm gullible. That's why I'm perceived like that. But I can be, okay? But that's why it's also the reason why I get sad most of the time, because I get in tune with myself and I quiet all those noises. And a lot of time you have to understand that look at Derrick Jacks, look at he was a relationship mogul. Although at first he helped me, but I started seeing through some of his BS and all, and I disconnected. And this is what happens sometimes. Sometimes you don't have to be with all the facts. Sometimes you don't have to, you just have to feel it and trust your intuition and trust yourself. And all these things happen first once you make peace with yourself. You detangle some of the doctrines you've learned over the years, because most of all these things weren't your idea, weren't your principles, weren't your values, but you learned them from society, you learned them from different sources that were built to bring you down. Sometimes I pity modern women, because I feel like we were set up for failure. And sometimes in bid to try to, survive, balance everything, we role switch. We because we go to the workforce, we bring most of our masculine energy to the workforce. We sometimes forget to remove that cape and come into our femininity. And sometimes it's not going to be easy. So I will tell you this: the best you can do is to surround yourself with abundance, surround yourself with love, love yourself even when you do mistake, because you have to realize you're going to make the worst mistake ever. And making mistake is not a bad thing. Making mistake is an evidence that you keep on putting effort and you're moving, you're not stagnant. And the thing with humans and animals is that we human beings, once we make mistake, we are the only beings that punish ourselves 100 times over one mistake. Like, we punish ourselves. Once we remember it, we go back to that place. It bites us. We keep on trying to amend, atone from it. Meanwhile, all you're doing is punishing yourself. It's almost like we don't need to go to hellfire. We've already built our own hell in our mind, and that is the actual hell. And mind you, you atoning, you feeling guilty and trying to atone for your sins or the wrong thing you've done to yourself is not the problem here. The problem is you moving on, letting go. And this is what you have to do in order for you to really grow. You have to move on. So, ladies, submission, is it good? This is what I would say. I think is a blessing to marriage, is a blessing to a relationship, because in every relationship there's somewhat kind of submission. But if you must submit, it should be to your safety, it should be to love, it should be to protection, it should be to good intentions only, and it should be based on your own awareness and your own consent. It shouldn't be imposed on you. And if you feel like you're not there yet, you have the right to decide this is not it. Because all this in submission comes from willingness, awareness, and love. It doesn't come from fear. Because that's how wars start. It doesn't. So yeah, this is where I'll be ending today. And to all the Nigerian men in the world at large that are seeking for submission and are demanding for it, ask yourself if you can submit to yourself. If you can't, then fuck you. Seriously, can you stop already? All right, and look at it. It's not even women wouldn't just submit to you if you're a true leader. Men will submit to you too. This is what they don't understand. That is okay. That's why I'm here, bringing it as it is. And you have to realize these are my opinions, and you can feel free to object in my comments. Alright? So yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to also like and drop your comments. Let me hear your view and know what you're thinking about. Till I come your way next time. Bye.